I was having y'all. It's your boy Rico from StreetScores, and man, oh man, I'm still seeing around the internet how a lot of Commanders fans are pretty down on our free agency this offseason so far. I'm going to go everywhere. We're going to CBS Sports, ESPN, Yahoo, Anthlon, NFL.com, everywhere. We even have other teams' fan bases, fans from other teams saying that the Commanders killed it in free agency. We're going to dive into exactly what everybody said, what everybody's grade was for us, and where we even ranked in some people's free agency winner rankings. So make sure you stay tuned throughout the entire video, because I promise you it's worth it for every single compliment and an analysis and breakdown that you're going to hear about the Commanders. Again, this whole point of this video, if you're not taking my word for it, because I love what we've done this offseason. If you don't want to take our word for it, us, the Commanders Kings, Louis T, Real Robinson, Ed Oliver, I want to present some neutral national analysts that have no bias for or towards against us in any way, shape, or form. And again, I even have people from other teams' fan bases saying that we killed it. We're going to dive into all of that. But of course, I have a fun fact for you at the end of the video. And make sure you stiff arm that like button, stiff arm the subscription button, and stiff arm the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Make sure you stay tuned to all of the content. Really appreciate y'all for pulling up and supporting every video. Now let's go ahead and dive into this video right now, man. Let's get it. Adam. Again, a lot of people, I'm not necessarily saying that it's like unanimous, but the vast majority of like experts, NFL analysts, writers, commentators, they're all generally, especially for the most part, saying that not only the Commanders did well in free agency, but there's an argument to be had that the Washington Commanders literally won free agency. Not only just did a good job or a great job, but literally did the best job out of the entire NFL. Let's dive into it. First of all, you have Tyler Sullivan, Garrett Pottle, and Jordan Dejani, I hope that's how you pronounce a couple of those names, from CBS Sports. They wrote an article back on March 16th, 2025 NFL free agency team by team grades. And then they said Vikings, Patriots, and Commanders among top marks after first few days. And so, of course, you can go through the entire article if you want to. They give exact grades for every single NFL team, all 32 of them. When you finally, because you know with us, since our name starts with W, Washington Commanders, we're always at the bottom of all of these articles. It actually makes it really easy to go ahead and find us. You don't have to shuffle through, trying to guess, okay, is this article really long or really short? Like, where's my team? No, with the Commanders, just go ahead and scroll all the way to the bottom of all of these articles, and you're going to see us right there at the bottom. It's actually really convenient. I really like it. But out of the way, that group of three people gave us an A+. They said key additions: wide receiver Deebo Samuel traded via the 49ers, left tackle Laramie Tunsil traded via the Texans, and defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw and safety Will Harris. They also pointed out the fact that we had key re-signings: linebacker Bobby Wagner, tight end Zach Ertz, punter Tress Way, and quarterback Marcus Mariota. And then key departures: safety Jeremy Chin to the Raiders, defensive tackle Jonathan Allen to the Vikings, wide receiver De'Ami Brown to the Jaguars, and Cornelius Lucas to the Browns. And I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, the Cornelius Lucas one is probably the one I'm the most sad about. I'm not gonna lie. But again, they gave us an A+ grade. They said this is exactly how you build around a franchise quarterback who is still on his rookie contract. The Commanders, fresh off of a trip to the NFC Championship, have made several splashes in the early stages of this free agent cycle. First, they kept their core intact by bringing back Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz. Meanwhile, they made massive trades, landing Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil. That gives Jaden Daniels his much-needed number 2 wide receiver and a star left tackle. They also helped out the defensive line by signing Javon Kinlaw. No matter how you slice it, the Commanders are even better than the last time we saw them, which was in an NFC Championship game. And that's going to be a common theme that you see all throughout this video. Multiple people are going to say something to the effect of the Commanders, if nothing else, are better than when we just saw them in the playoffs. They are better going into 2025 than they were in 2024 when they made it to an NFC Championship game. That's like the biggest theme out of this entire video that you're going to keep hearing over and over again. Is going to be a reoccurring theme. Now moving on to ESPN. They had an article, and this is one of those articles where they have like all of their experts in it. Like literally, like when you look at who produced the article, it just says NFL experts because they have so many different people. It's not 1, 2, 3, 5 people. It's double-digit people. They wrote an article, all encompassing. Everybody works together. The 2025 NFL free agency. The experts debate best and worst signings, and they have a bunch of interesting categories. They have like best moves, head-scratching moves, top bargain deals, teams that took a step back, and most improved teams. Well, you already know, with the theme of this video, let's just go ahead and go to most improved teams. There's no point of even wasting time looking at anything else. And you have Field Yates. He said the Washington Commanders for his answer as most improved team. There are certain instances in which quality over quantity matters to me in free agency, and Washington would fit that criteria in this instance. Acquiring left tackle Laramie Tunsil solidifies a premium spot in front of Jaden Daniels, while a small cost trade for receiver Deebo Samuel Jr. provides a boost as well. Washington should feel emboldened to make moves now following what was maybe the best rookie quarterback season ever. And I also agree with that too, man. The reason that we should be doing what we're doing right now, trading for Laramie Tunsil, trading for Deebo Samuel, doing whatever you got to do to acquire talent. Of course, you want to build towards the future, but we are trying to win right now because you have a top 5 quarterback in the NFL on a rookie deal. That's as wide open as a Super Bowl window could ever possibly be. Once you pay Jaden Daniels, he's still going to be elite, but it just gets more difficult to try to be, keep sustained success and to be a consistent Super Bowl contender, because once you're paying him, you don't have the cap space to pay other positions. Right now, we have that opportunity, that cap space, and we're trying to make the most of it by trading for an elite left tackle in Laramie Tunsil, top 3 at worst, top 5 left tackle. And Deebo Samuel, I feel like he may not ever go back to like his 2021 season self, but I think he's going to get really close to it. And at least statistically, I just feel like as far as an impact that he's going to have on this team with, so many other guys getting so much attention. Jaden Daniels alone, let alone Terry McLaurin, whatever we do with this run game, I think we're going to have a great, maybe even an elite offensive line now that we have Laramie Tunsil added. Deebo Samuel, unfortunately for other teams, is you're going to have to make him an afterthought, because there's no way you can focus on stopping Deebo Samuel and just allow Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin and whatever we do with this run game to just run rampant. Noah Brown was a pretty solid wide receiver too for us before he got hurt. He's even back. It's just too much to focus on and worry about as an opposing defense. I think Deebo Samuel's going to eat in that environment. I think he's going to be big. And then you have Cliff Kingsbury, one of the smartest and most creative offensive minds in all of football right now. So I think we're going to definitely unleash and unlock Deebo Samuel. Again, he may never be physically what he was in 2021, just due to all of the mileage that he has on his body, all of the hits he's taken since then, especially with the play style that he has, preferring to run through people rather than around them. He may not necessarily be like 100% physically what he was in 2021, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has a similar impact to his 2021 season with us, even if the stats don't necessarily show it. Now you have the 33rd team. As you can see on the screen right now, you have Steve Palazzolo and Sam Monson. And you're seeing on the screen right now, the 4 biggest winners of free agency, including trades, are the Bills, Broncos, Rams, and most importantly for us, the Washington Commanders. Short to the point, we don't even have to get into anything that they said. They just straight up said, here are your teams that won. Then you have Yahoo Sports, if you look on the screen right now. As you can see on the screen right now, and we're ranked too. You have the Chicago Bears and the Vikings as the only 2 A's. Then you have the Patriots, Chiefs, and Commanders as the 3 A minuses, and then everybody else is below that. And then you had the Bengals and the Steelers is incomplete. I wonder how they feel about it now, because that was back in March 13th. I'm curious as to what grade they probably give them now, but the 49ers, Saints, and the Texans have F's. The Eagles have a D. The Cowboys have a D minus. The Giants have a D as well. We're far superior to, at the very least, compared to the rest of the NFC East when it comes to what we've done this offseason. So, at the very least, when you're looking at the division, and that's the most important part, can you go through the division, more specifically the Eagles? Have the Eagles gotten worse? Have you gotten better? That's your chance of making it to the Super Bowl, because you got to go through the Eagles. The Eagles are still a very good team. I don't care how poorly of a free agency and offseason they've had so far. The Eagles are still the class of the NFL right now. Now, I'm going to give a lot of the credit to my Georgia Dogs, but Jalen Hurts, their starting quarterback, and their GM said the same thing. But either way, I love the fact that the Eagles, the Giants, and the Cowboys have according to most people, most experts feel like they've had terrible off seasons, and ours is excellent. Not only just okay, not only just good, but one of the best in the NFL. So maybe we're closing that gap on the Eagles, and I'm excited about that, man. I'm trying to go to and win a Super Bowl. And so that graphic that you saw also came with an article titled 2025 NFL Free Agency Signings and Grades for All 32 Teams. And when he gets to the Washington Commanders, of course, he gave us an A-. Then he had why. He said the biggest names on this list are aging, and Javon Kinlaw was overpaid. But there was some talent added between Deebo Samuel Jr. and Laramie Tunsil. He kept it very sweet, short, to the point, because, I mean, this entire article is writing about all 32 NFL teams. So every description is like basically 1 to 2 sentences like that. But either way, gave us an A-, as you can see on that screen. Also, shouts out to George Carmen because he brings up a good point with this picture. He said, refreshing to have proper management. Funny thing is, the Commanders didn't hand out an oversized contract either. I think that's a very important part of this as well. While other teams may have had some really good free agency periods, there were teams like the Patriots that literally had to overpay for a lot of the guys that they got. Now, I'm pretty sure they're happy that they got them. I'm pretty sure their fan bases are especially happy with what the Patriots have done this offseason. But they had to overpay to get a lot of guys, which takes me, of course, to my landing spot discussion, where a lot of people are upset with the Commanders about, oh, y'all promised us we will be a top landing spot, and then look what happened. Well, I'm telling you right now, we still were. Because I don't know if y'all saw it lately, but it was just a few minutes ago, right before I recorded this, that it came out that DK Metcalf was apparently like the Patriots had a trade in place to get him, but then DK straight up said, I don't want to go there. I don't want to play for the Patriots. What? Look at them. Forget the history that they had. History doesn't matter. How good are they right now? How good are they going to be in 2025, or at least, throughout my entire contract of 3 to 4 years that I'm going to be with them? He looked at the Patriots and said, no. I don't recall anybody ever just saying no to us. If anybody didn't come to us that maybe we wanted, it was due to money, or maybe a projected larger role, maybe another team they could start, whereas for here they would be like part of a rotation or something like that. But I'm pretty sure most of it is money. And again, back to George Carmi's point, for the landing spot situation, for the Patriots to get really good players, they had to overpay for them. We didn't overpay for anybody except for, maybe you could argue, Javon Kinlaw, but again, I'm working on that video right now where I feel like he will end up being a steal. I'm telling y'all right now, I could be wrong. Hindsight could be 2020 later on down the line, but I have a strong feeling that Javon Kinlaw is actually going to look like a steal with the contract that he has. But again, the only player that you could even possibly throw out there and say that we may have even slightly overpaid for is Javon Kinlaw. The rest of our free agency class and even the trades that we did were all high value deals. We're giving them less. We gave up less than which is supposed to be given for players of those calibers. So we got good deals on everybody else. Meanwhile, the Patriots are having to overpay for people. The Chicago Bears even had to overpay for a couple of guys. So I just feel like that's what stands out about us among everybody else. Then you have Pro Football Focus. They graded every single NFL team. They also even graded every signing, like even every re-signing, like with tight end John Bates. They said his deal grade, they compare like advanced stats like WAR, they have Pro Football Focus grade, they have the contract, they have projected contract based off of what they thought the person would get, and then they have like a deal grade where compared to how much money they're getting, how good of a deal was this based off of their talent and how productive they'll be. So a guy like John Bates was below average. Noah Brown was average. Jonathan Jones was average and things like that. So they're doing that for every single player that was signed, re-signed throughout the entire NFL. But at the end of the day, they gave us an A- grade. And they gave the Laramie Tunsil deal grade elite. And they said the biggest move of the opening day of free agency, the Commanders made a splash and landed the 4th most valuable left tackle in football last season. Tunsil has earned a Pro Football Focus passing grade above 85 in 5 of the past 6 seasons. Adding a franchise left tackle to block for quarterback Jaden Daniels is an elite move. They felt like that was elite. Again, they have ratings like below average, they have above average, they have good. They get really specific. They said Laramie Tunsil, that move to get him was elite, like the highest of high accolades they could give. And then you have Evan Winter of A to Z Sports. They did an entire article just specifically for the Commanders, grading the Commanders' first free agency moves. Washington is in prime position to take a step forward in 2025, and I believe they did this for every single team, but they chose to go about it. Instead of having all teams in one big article, they're doing one article for each team. And then they gave grades for every single move. Like the Laramie Tunsil grade, they gave an A. For getting, I think, for the Deebo Samuel trade, they gave it a B. For bringing Marcus Mariota back, they gave it an A. For Jeremy McNichols re-signing, they gave that a B+, actually. They gave Tress Way an A. They gave Zach Ertz being brought back an A. Bobby Wagner an A. They gave Zane Gonzalez a C+. So they like broke down a lot of our biggest moves. They gave signing in Will Harris a B, things like that. And they felt like Javon Kinlaw was an F. But either way, they felt like the final grade after all of that, a B overall. And they said if it weren't for the Kinlaw signing, this list would have received an A easily. That move drops it down a letter grade. Unfortunately, still is a really solid haul for the Commanders that has them in a great spot to take a step forward in 2025. A lot of people are pretty down on Javon Kinlaw, but I'm telling y'all right now, y'all will see. I'm cooking up this video right now. And no, it's not like it's taking this long to actually like edit the video or anything like that. I'm still just watching tape. I'm watching tape. I'm trying to get as many advanced stats as I can. I'm trying to develop like the perfect opinion. I'm presenting to y'all why you should love the Javon Kinlaw signing way more than you already do. Or if you hate it, I'm gonna try to convince you why you should like it. So that's why that video segment so long. Plus, I have so many notes, it's a lot going on with that video. I promise you it's on the way though. And then you have sportingnews.com. And not only did they grade every NFL team's free agency, they also ranked all 32 teams from best to worst off seasons just in general. And guess who's on top in first place? The Washington Commanders with an A grade. They said the Commanders are having another bang up offseason, following up what they did to flip from bottom feeders to NFC runner up. In addition to keeping some key veteran pieces in all three phases, they gave Jaden Daniels a needed top number 2 wide receiver and a dominant left tackle for year 2. Washington has also made some sneaky positive tweaks to his pass defense on the front and back ends. Again, they gave us an A, but not only an A, number 1 out of all 32 teams ranked off season. Number 1. After us, they have the Chicago Bears, then the Patriots, then the Vikings, then the Raiders, then the Bills, then the Chargers, then the Colts. And again, just to be petty real quick, let's just see where everybody else in the NFC East is at. So for the Eagles, literally while I'm command effing and looking for them right now, that's a C grade, ranked 23rd. How are we feeling about the Giants? Giants are 16th, okay, with a B-. And then the Cowboys, I'm pretty sure it's atrocious. I'm pretty sure the Cowboys are unanimously always going to be the bottom of the NFC East as far as off seasons go. And we're going to be at the very top. Number 1, Cowboys 4th. Love to hear it, right? They have them ranked 25th with a C grade. And again, mind you, the Commanders were number 1 with the flat out A. They don't hand out A+. It's just straight up A. And then after that, it goes down to an A-. They don't give out A+. We got the highest grade you could possibly get according to Sport News. And then you have Judy Batista of NFL.com, and she did breakdowns of day 1, day 2, day 4. Let's get to it. For day 1, she did like 4 winners and losers. We were one of the winners, and Jaden Daniels, she literally said he was the winner. Not even just the Commanders in general. Jaden Daniels won the offseason. She said the Commanders came into the offseason with a great situation. They had the reigning NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year on roster, plus roughly $81 million in projected salary cap space. General Manager Adam Peters had the potential to make a lot of smart decisions with that money, and he did just that, agreeing to a trade for wide receiver Deebo Samuel last week, re-signing tight end Zach Ertz, and agreeing to a trade for former Houston Texans tackle Laramie Tunsil on Monday. Of course, this article was written like way back when. Like just a week and a half ago. The addition of Samuel gives Daniels another proven receiver who could take pressure off Terry McLaurin and be a creative chess piece for offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury. The return of Zach Ertz gives Daniel that reliable intermediate target that makes life so easy for young quarterbacks. The trade for Tunsil means Daniels has one of the best left tackles in the game protecting his blind side. A few games into the 2024 season, it was obvious Daniels was destined for big things. Imagine what he'll do with more experience and a better supporting cast. It's crazy to me that so many Commanders fans are so down on this offseason, and this is how NFL experts feel about. Not only do they like our offseason, they love it. And they feel like, again, the reoccurring theme that you're going to hear a lot throughout this video is that they are at the very least better than what they were the last time we saw them. Then day 2, out of the winners and losers, and she made Daniel Jones a winner, one of the winners, because of the fact that he finally got out of the Giants situation and potentially going to a starting role, maybe, if he can beat out Anthony Richardson for the Colts. But, of course, we're here for the Washington Commanders. That was the winner for day 2. And so not only were we winners for day 1, she felt like we won day 2 as well. Like both of them. And again, she limits it. I mean, it can only be like a handful of winners and losers, and we're winners for both days. With the rebuild turbocharged by Jaden Daniels' transcendent debut season, which catapulted Washington all the way to the NFC Championship game, the Commanders are going all in while the electric quarterback is on his rookie contract. It probably shouldn't be a surprise that general manager Adam Peters swung a trade for a premier left tackle in Laramie Tunsil. Peters was in San Francisco's front office when the 49ers traded for Trent Williams. That's a big talent upgrade, as was the trade to acquire wide receiver Deebo Samuel from the 49ers. The offense had little in the way of top-end talent last season beyond Daniels and wide receiver Terry McLaurin. I agree. I'm just shocked that people don't love what we're doing when, like, at the very least, we've added so much top-end talent where our team, Jaden Daniels was carrying that roster last year. At the very least, it seems like he'll have some help this year. Daniels was sacked 47 times in 2024 as one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL, with great pocket presence as well. It's not even like he's one of those skittish quarterbacks that takes off when he's not supposed to, like a lot of the mobile quarterbacks does. He has elite pocket awareness and elite mobility. For him to be sacked that many times is inexcusable. With potential free agent tackles like Ronnie Stanley re-upping with their current teams, the trade for Tunsil, who even into his 30s remains one of the most durable and reliable protectors, durable and reliable at left tackle, is huge. Fills a huge need. The Commanders also addressed the defense by adding tackle Javon Kinlaw. Then you have also for day 4, a day after bringing back Mariota, Washington re-signed guard Trent Scott, who started in January's NFC title game at right guard, of course, because Samuel Cosmi got hurt. I mean, he technically didn't start, but because technically start is beginning, but he did play the majority of the snaps there since Samuel Cosmi got hurt after our first touchdown. And then Noah Brown, the recipient of Jaden Daniels' game-winning Hail Mary last year against the Bears, and fellow receiver KJ Osborne, who caught 15 touchdowns during a 3-year span during his time with the Minnesota Vikings. These signings serve as evidence that the Commanders are prioritizing Daniels' comfort level by retaining receivers he's familiar with, while also bringing back a quarterback who served as a positive mentor for the young quarterback. I think that's an excellent point. That's something I didn't necessarily think of, like bringing back so many familiar faces. Even though you want to upgrade the receiver room, you don't want to change it too much, because now Jaden Daniels at least has a certain floor to work with. Well, like, I've thrown passes to these guys. At least I have some sort of chemistry with at least a few of these guys on this team, and that way he doesn't have to gain chemistry with everybody. And now Deebo Samuel's that X factor that he has to like really get in the lab and work with throughout the offseason so they can develop that chemistry. Whereas Noah Brown and Terry McLaurin, they're just going to take right back off from where they were last year with no bumps in the road. Remember how the Buccaneers called us lacking week 1 last season because we were so new at everything? We were as raw as a team could be. We had the most roster turnover, arguably in NFL history, going from one season to the next. We were just so new that all they had to do is just have any sort of continuity going from last year, chemistry, team bonding, whatever, and they were able to beat us just off of that alone. It wasn't even like they were necessarily far more talented than us, especially when you look at the score. It was more so just because we didn't know what we were doing. We had no chemistry amongst each other. A lot of the preseason snaps, mostly the backups were getting those. A lot of the starters hadn't even played next to each other going into that game. And I feel like that is an important component here that I didn't even think about until this writer just brought it up that, hey, bringing back some of the receiver room is actually a positive. So Jaden Daniels will go into week 1 ready this time. You're not going to catch us lacking. And I said that too. Immediately after, you can go back and check. During my live stream videos and everything around that time, I literally said it. Buccaneers, if we play y'all in the playoffs, we're going to beat y'all. I literally said that because I'm like, they only won that first game because they caught us off guard and we just weren't ready. Our pants were down. We were so new. By the way, on top of that, Mariota is a quality backup who threw 4 touchdowns and no interceptions while completing 77.3% of his 44 pass attempts during his first season in Washington. I mean, an elite backup quarterback, I would argue. I was definitely wrong about that signing when we first got him last year. And then also, I do want to point out the fact that it's not just all A- is enough. I mean, I gave y'all that 1B earlier, but again, that same person said that it would have been an A if we didn't sign Javon Kinlaw. But it's not just all A- is enough. Everybody isn't saying that we literally had the best free agency out of the entire NFL, which now takes me to USA Today's Nate Davis, who also graded and ranked all 32 teams NFL free agencies, and he gave us a B+. Still really good, but to my point, not just an A+, A+. B+, rather than the overextend himself in a seller's market, which was, I agree, like, and we're going to talk about this later, like, this was a tough free agency cycle. Like, there wasn't a lot of great talent to get, and even if you were to get them, you had to overpay for them. Adam Peters did a great job of navigating that and being like, well, it's a seller's market. We're gonna buy wherever it's smart to buy, but we're not gonna overextend ourselves and overpay like Nate Davis is bringing up. So thank you for acknowledging that. That's where a lot of fans are missing what happened this offseason. General Manager Adam Peters got creative to address his primary needs, trading for Tunsil and Samuel, the latter costing a mere 5th rounder. The NFC runner-ups brought back key players and locker room leaders like Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, and Marcus Mariota. Though Peters did raise some eyes by shelling out $45 million over 3 years for defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw, whom he knew from San Francisco and clearly thinks he can replace departed Jonathan Allen. Is it enough to get over the Super Bowl hump for the first time in 34 years? Stay tuned. But the possibilities currently seem pretty endless for a franchise helmed by a blossoming superstar and quarterback Jaden Daniels. And then it's crazy, again, how down our own fan base is this offseason about the Commanders offseason, because if you ask fans from other teams, a lot of them feel like not only did we have a good offseason, a lot of them feel like we killed it. Like, you even have this Bills fan right here, Draft Diamonds, on Twitter asked, so the Dallas Cowboys have been active in free agency this time, but who do you feel like has had the best free agency? You had a Bills fan at Sir_Charles84 said Vikings, Bills, Broncos, and Commanders. As a Bills fan, even saying the Commanders. But again, you have a lot of Commanders fans that don't agree. You have Peter Schrager. He went, a whole 2-minute and 14-second clip on their Good Morning Football show. He completely just dove into why he loved what the Commanders did this offseason. But just a quick little quote from it that they literally posted on Twitter. They said, quote, well, he said in the video, this is just one quote from a bunch of great things he said. So I would definitely suggest and recommend that you go check out the full 2-minute and 14-second clip. He said, I know we are reluctant to crowning offseason champions, but the Commanders have had a great few weeks and are a better team on paper today than they were when they played an NFC Championship game a few months back, unquote. Again, that's from Peter Schrager, and that is the same recurring theme. Then you have Ed Werder. He said, for Deebo Samuel, one of the most versatile players in the league on a contract year. Great point. I keep saying that. You're going to get the best version of Deebo, because if at the very least he's in a contract year, he's trying to get paid next season. Then Tunsil. Washington made a great move to get Tunsil. I really question what the Texans are even doing. That's how ridiculous that move was for us, as far as you even have Texans fans like Brett Coleman sick about the trade. And then you have overall, Washington totally is going in for it mode right now. They've got their eyes firmly on taking down the Eagles, as they should, unquote. I'm loving it. And then you even have Pro Football Focus, to go back to them real quick. They had an article of the favorite and least favorite free agency moves for all 32 NFL teams. So these aren't just overall grades, but I just felt like it was a common theme here, because I feel like a lot of people, when you're thinking about our offseason, you're really just overlooking the fact that we brought back Bobby Wagner in a very good deal compared to what what he's doing for us. His deal is pennies compared to the value that he adds to this team, and bringing him back was huge. So they said their favorite move for the Commanders was linebacker Bobby Wagner. They said retaining Bobby Wagner to command this defense was perhaps Washington's most savvy move out of this entire offseason. At age 34, he posted the highest WAR value of any off-ball linebacker in the entire NFL in 2024, while clocking in his 3rd straight season of a 91 plus Pro Football Focus run defense grade. So according to that WAR stat, one of the most advanced statistics that tries to separate player from team, and it's the best way to try to compare guys. You have all of these linebackers, this team has a better defensive line in front of them, this team has a better coaching staff. It does its best to try to isolate the player from their environment and situation around them, and Pro Football Focus felt like with that stat, Bobby Wagner was literally the best linebacker in all of football last year, and we're only giving him $6 million guaranteed. He's only going to be like a $6 million cap hit this year. And then, reoccurring theme, there was another article. Every team's high upside free agent signing, and not traded for Larry Tunsil or Deebo Samuel, or signing an outside free agent that just joined the Commanders, another Bobby Wagner choice. They said Wagner was arguably a linchpin of Dan Quinn's new look defense in Washington in 2024, and the team recognized his worth. The veteran is back on a 1-year contract after looking like his prime self last season. He missed just 5.7% of tackle attempts, 5th best rate among all linebackers in the NFL, and tied for the 2nd most in run stops with 41. Wagner's return isn't just about production. He is the leader of a defense on the rise, one that could be a difference in potential Super Bowl run for the Commanders. And then lastly, before we get up out of here, I super agree with these points that Josh Taylor brought up. And again, like somebody brought it, was it Nate Davis or somebody like that brought up the fact that this was a seller's market here. It was not a buyer's market. So for those of y'all that wanted us to go and get a lot of top free agents, this was not a great free agency period to do this. With the cap space going up, players asking for even more money than they're supposed to, this was just a perfect recipe for a lot of teams to get trapped into some really bad long-term contracts. Adam Peters did a great job of avoiding that. Shouts out to Josh Taylor. He brings up two tweets. First one, everyone does know free agency this year is a bunch of older players, right? Good young free agents don't just hit the free agency market. A lot of teams make sure they re-sign those guys. Those guys aren't even necessarily available for the Commanders to even get their hands on. We had to trade for the really elite talents like a Laramie Tunsil, especially this year. You get young in the draft and you mostly sign your vet contributors in free agency. That's how it goes. And then his second tweet, the average age of the top 20 free agents didn't get franchise tagged this offseason was 28.7 years old. Top 3 players on Pro Football Focus's rankings were Javon Holland, Chris Godwin at 29 off of a bad injury, and Khalil Mack at 34 years old. The majority of the top 20 got well overpaid their projections as well. This is a really bad free agency class to hope to catapult your team into being a Super Bowl contender. And basically everybody's point is, including mine, Josh Taylor's, and a lot of these people that gave us A pluses, A- grades, is that the Commanders did the best you could possibly do with what was available. It's not like we could just get any top player. We can't, I mean, when it comes to free agents, they have to no longer be under contract. They have to be free agents. Not only do they have to find a way to escape getting re-signed by their teams, but you have to compete with all other NFL teams when it comes to paying these guys. A lot of these guys chose money over winning, plain and simple. The Commanders did the very best job they could have with those circumstances. Again, you had teams out there like the Patriots. Yeah, they got a lot of notable names, but they definitely overpaid for a few of them. And we're going to look back like a year or two from now like, man, that guy's good, but he's not worth that. And meanwhile, we're going to have all of the cap space in the world to go back and have a lot of fun again next year with the way that Adam Peters is doing things. It's not like we just sold out and spent all of our money this free agency, so after next season, we have no money to spend. No, every free agency, the way Adam Peters and Brandon Sauston are setting this up, we get to have fun every single year. The Patriots spent so much of their money this offseason, it's gonna be a struggle for them to spend a lot of money next offseason. So you should be really happy with the Commanders that I'm telling y'all right now, but you'll just see. I mean, I'm still surprised after what we accomplished last year that you're even questioning, let alone doubting what this organization is doing on the decision-making standpoint, but it is what it is. You'll just have to see. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. Please get in the comment section. Let me know if everything discussed in the video. Please still follow that like button, still follow the subscription button, still follow the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinion video just like this one. Now, really make sure, appreciate y'all for supporting the video. If y'all made it this far, you are the GOAT, and make sure you leave a like on the way out. But of course, I told y'all I had a fun fact for y'all at the end of the video. The Commanders' 26-6 win over the Cowboys to close the 2022 season. I don't know what's going on with this 2022 stuff. Came in the first start of rookie 5th round draft pick Sam Howell's NFL career. I do remember that. The very end of the season, the very last game of the season, we whooped the Cowboys. Sam Howell was talking crazy. He had me excited about him potentially being our franchise quarterback with how crazy he was talking in that locker room. He was like, yeah, man, we whooped them boys. Like, I still like Sam Howell and his personality, but I'm very happy that we moved on and got Jaden Daniels. Yeah, I mean, it's not even hindsight 2020. I was screaming, get quarterback. I was not one of those people that was saying, keep Howell, trade back and get a great left tackle. All in all, ended up working out way better getting Jaden Daniels because he's just that different. I still like Sam Howell, but Jaden Daniels is different, man. Either way, I'm just appreciative of where we are. I feel like more fans should be appreciative of where we are right now, especially compared to where we came from. Really appreciate y'all, man. Again, make sure you let me know in the comment section, of course, how you feel about all of this. Do you agree that the Commanders killed it this offseason like pretty much everybody else feels like other than our fan base, honestly? And then let me know if you didn't feel like we killed it, but now after what I've told you, reading all of the different articles and opinions, has it changed your mind, or are you still like, nah, like this offseason sucked? Please let me know why too. No matter how you feel about the offseason being great or bad or in the middle, let me know why you feel that way. I'm pretty sure for a lot of y'all that don't like the offseason, y'all are gonna bring up Javon Kinlaw, which is again why I'm cooking up this video to convince y'all otherwise. So make sure y'all stay tuned with more content. Make sure you leave a like on the way out. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.